Hello there. What is going on, everybody? We have big news to talk about. Short video, big news. AMG has dropped a major announcement yesterday saying that an even bigger announcement is coming next week. This is the prelude announcement to the big announcement. If you guys are new here to the channel, we do giveaways all the time. We talk about tabletop games, Star Wars games, science fiction games, board games, war games, everything in between. Love to have you stick around. We have a couple of days left to win that $25 Amazon gift card giveaway also. So make sure you like the video, subscribe, leave a comment. You have to just you have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos to have a chance to win all that. All right. All that being said, there's a special announcement coming out next week, February 25th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you are Eastern like me, that's going to be 10, 11, 12, noon Eastern, so 9 a.m. Pacific. And they're going to be streaming this on their Twitch. I am going to try to also do a watch party for those of you who, for some reason, are stuck at work and don't have access to Twitch. But we'll talk about it. It's going to be that one. It looks like it's going to be exciting. This is going to be a fun one. So basically, they have announced that I'll quote their announcement here. It says something big is on the way. On February 25th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we are going live with a special studio announcement to unveil the next chapter of Atomic Mass Games. Tune in on Twitch. You will not want to miss it. Now, this could be something very small. It could be something very big. I don't think it's going to be something super small. I also I don't want to speculate too much, but of course, speculation is what I do. So before I even begin to speculate at all, let me caveat anything with, I have absolutely no idea. And I don't want people going to Reddit or whatever saying, Crabbok says they're doing Star Trek now, or something like that, right? I'm definitely not saying that. But I want to point out, that I don't think that this is going to be, I've seen people saying like, oh, are they going to do Gungans? Is this going to be, I don't think this has anything to do with that. I would go so far as to say I don't think this has anything to do with Legion specifically. I don't think this is about, I'd go yet even further to say this probably has nothing to do with any of their current games. It could be a new game. It could be something, it could be new personnel. I don't know if the graphic that they're showing behind there has anything to do with it, but it looks like there's 3 more kind of copies of their robot character, right? So it's possible that maybe they're bringing on some new people. Maybe there's something like studio specific news, kind of under the hood kind of stuff. It might be something like that. It might be something along the lines of maybe an all-new game. It might be something along the lines of an all-new IP. There's a lot of different things. But what I don't think it is I don't think that it's just a regular news drop for their existing games. I don't think it's going to be something new for Shatterpoint, Marvel Crisis Protocol, or Legion, or just something regular like that. Because I think if it was just normal news, it would probably just wait until Adepticon. The fact that they're doing this about a month before Adepticon means that it's probably something that might have an impact, or at least something that may be referenced or talked about at Adepticon. It could have something to do with a lot of that, which is very interesting. It definitely seems like it's something that they're excited about, so it definitely seems like it's something good, and I definitely don't think that it's like anything like a game is kind of going away or anything like that. This definitely sounds like it's something positive, it's something good, and it's something kind of going into the future when they say they're going to unveil the next chapter of Atomic Mass Games. It could be that Atomic Mass Games is going into like, hey, Atomic Mass Games is going to do card games and miniatures games now, or they're going to do a board game and maybe it's a different shift from the studio. There's another thought that I have is I wonder if it has any relationship with some of the things that are happening under Asmodee with the ability to when they took on CMON, right? CMON originally stood for Cool Mini or Not, and they were like a miniatures company, and like wouldn't that be an interesting way to find some part of that acquisition and incorporate that into Atomic Mass Games, right? Like there's a lot of different possibilities. Could it also have something to do with crowdfunding? That's a possibility, since Asmodee as a whole is doing that. Although really it looks like Fantasy Flight was doing that, because Fantasy Flight announced that earlier, a couple of months ago. I say earlier this year, but it wasn't really earlier this year. It was late last year. But the point is, at Gen Con, Fantasy Flight announced that they were doing some crowdfunding stuff. Wouldn't it be interesting if Atomic Mass Games was doing some crowdfunding stuff? I think when it comes to miniatures and miniatures wargaming, I think there's a lot of room for crowdfunding, and I think there's a lot of room for a la carte stuff and people to kind of get in and get onto that hype. And not everybody likes that. I love crowdfunding. I love the idea of kind of pledging for something and then getting updates and getting the excitement, and did we hit the stretch goals and stuff like that. As long as it's not like exclusives that give like FOMO to everyone else, I kind of like it more when it's like you just get exclusive early things that everybody else can eventually get, or something like that. But like, I was never super crazy on it's like, well, this is gameplay expansions that are now only available to people who pre-ordered, especially when a game is going to be like like a tournament kind of game, and then somebody's got a permanent advantage over someone else because they pledged. But if it's aesthetics or early access and things like that, or bundle, special discount pricing and stuff like that, crowdfunding is always really fun. I happen to like it. It's not for everybody, but it's a great way to be able to kind of launch certain products that might not kind of work on retail shelves, or maybe they're a little bit risky and you're not sure and you kind of want to use it as a dedicated kind of pre-order system. There's all kinds of different options that they can do, and I think since Asmodee's brought crowdfunding people, that could be something that they do. Additionally, could be a whole nother IP coming to Atomic Mass Games, theoretically. Wouldn't that be something? Or here's an even really groovy option. What if it's not a new IP? What if it's an existing IP that already exists under Asmodee? What if it's something like Rune Wars or Twilight Imperium getting a miniatures game? I've said before, I'd love to see another spaceship game come out. Maybe what if we're finally going to get that Twilight Imperium spaceship game, and it's going to come on? Maybe it's everything combined. Maybe it's a Twilight Imperium spaceship miniature war game that is going to GameFound or something like that, right? I'm saying all this just because to illustrate, we have no idea what they're going to announce. It may not be anything wild and crazy like that, but it is going to have something to do with the next chapter of Atomic Mass Games, and probably will have a lot more information after the 25th. And whatever your questions are, we can probably get them answered at Adepticon as well, because that is only a month after this. So whatever it is they announce, it probably will have something to do with either what gets kind of displayed or revealed at Adepticon. They always have, if there's miniatures involved, there's always glass cases with like some of the new stuff that's kind of on display. They're going to have people there to talk and hype things up. There's also the big studio panel, the timelines and all of the whole panel reveal, the whole studio panel that they have at Adepticon, which is the big announcements, the big, hey, here's our plans for the next year for all of our games. If there's a new game involved in this announcement, there may be some of that there. If it's not related to a new game, it could be a ton of other things that still are things that we might be interested in. It might have something to do with organized play. What if they're changing the way they do organized play? What if they're, changing the way they do rules? Maybe it's website related. Maybe it involves multiple moving pieces. Maybe it's restructuring. There's a million and one things that it could be. And so instead of really worrying about that, I think it's more interesting to just keep an eye on what the future holds and see what is going to happen there. Because, look, there's a lot of really cool games, and there's a lot of things to pay attention to, and there's a lot of things that it could be. I've seen people saying, what if DC were coming to, and then you had DC Crisis Protocol? It sounds interesting. I know there's some people that were talking about, spaceship games coming back. What if X-Wing and Armada came back? Again, I don't think anything like that is the case. I wouldn't guess that that's going to be the case, but I think what's more likely is there might be a new spaceship game. I think that's something that's possible. If it's not this, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody at Asmodee was working on another spaceship game, because again, you got people like spaceship games. I've been playing a lot of new spaceship games lately, and I'm really enjoying a lot of them. So there's room for a lot of that stuff. There's room for new IPs. There's room for homegrown IPs. There's room for new studio directions. There's room for new website stuff. Whatever it is that they're going to announce, it's going to be pretty interesting. So again, we can speculate. I want to hear some of your thoughts down in the comments section below. Maybe the next time I talk about this, we'll go over some of the wildest and craziest predictions. I think that'd be a fun one. Let me know down in, and if you see other good predictions, make sure you like them and all of that. Let's keep it going. You can also jump on our Discord and share your thoughts down there. I have links in the video description below. We'll be talking about this as we come into next week. This is only a week away, so this is coming very soon. Sounds like it could be cool. I'm really anxious to see. All right, we'll see you next week with more on this. Well, we'll see you at next video, but it's not going to be next week until we do the next video. But you know what I'm saying. We'll talk about this some more next week as it gets closer. It's exciting though. It's exciting. Let me know your thoughts. Big thanks for watching. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing and help make this whole channel possible. I will talk to you later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. The spice must flow. So say we all, and always wash your socks.